Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in today's youth development program titled Future Proof Skills for the Digital World. My name is Karama Ajala. I'm an American Corner Director from the city of Ibadan. Today, we will be on learning and relearning new skills by our tech enthusiasts here and tech educationists. The persons of Engineer Ejiroghene May John, the founder of Teach Girls Tech Foundation, and Mrs. Damilola Anwo-Ade, managing partner of Sprout Digital. Today, from their pool of wealth of experiences and knowledge, they'll be sharing us the skills necessary for the digital world. So I want you all to have your pen and paper ready for this, educational session. And I'll be handing my mic over to the director of Yola Window in America, Mrs. Stella. The floor is yours, ma'am, to read the bio of the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Karamat. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please shoot.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, Ms. Damilola Anwo and Engineer Ejiroghene.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay. It's been a wonderful time all through this week. We've been going through a lot of training.
Stella, please can you mute the other system? Ask them to mute the other system. The echo is too much.
Okay. He's been muted. Hello? Can you still hear the echo?
I think you're good.
Okay. I'd like to read a bio.
Do you know what I would suggest? Let them log off. Let them log off for now. When you finish, then they log in back.
I just did that. Okay, I'd like to read the bio for Mrs. Damilola Anwo and Engineer Ejiroghene John. Damilola Anwo-Ade is a passionate tech leader and advocate for the empowering young people in technology. With over 15 years in tech world, she has built strong skills in digital innovation, entrepreneurship, and artificial intelligence. Damilola has personally trained more than 4,000 individuals in the digital skills, helping them unlock new opportunities in tech. As the managing partner of Sprout Digital, she leads projects and uses technology to solve real problems, including digital skills training and tech-powered entrepreneurship programs. Her work helps create jobs and support economic growth, showing how technology can make a difference in people's lives. She's also the founder of Code IT Africa, a program focused in people's lives. A program focused on teaching coding and digital skills to young people across Africa, with special attention to girls and women. Through Code IT Africa, she's dedicated to closing the digital gap and giving youth the tools they need to succeed in today's tech-driven world. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to welcome Ms. Damilola Anwo-Ade, our facilitator for today's event. The second facilitator is Engineer Ejiroghene May John. Is highly accomplished engineer, educator, and tech entrepreneur with over 17 years of experience, blending engineering, education, and innovation. She's the founder of Tech Girls Tech Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to empowering girls and women through technology, and lessonpaddy.com, an ed tech startup transforming access to curriculum aligned teaching materials across Africa. As in 2023, Tech Women Fellow Ejiro has collaborated with leading tech experts in Silicon Valley, gaining valuable knowledge in innovation, AI, and digital transformation. She is deeply committed to equipping both educators and students with essential 21st century skills and leads global efforts to digitize education in millions. Currently, she's pursuing a PhD in curriculum studies and instructional technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome Engineer Ejiroghene John. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's great to be here, really. We're doing a collabo, and it's always exciting when I do a collabo with engineer. We've done a few this year, so this is another exciting moment for us. It's great to be here, especially to talk about future skills. We don't take it for granted that we have an opportunity to impact knowledge. And that's because there's a big gap that is currently happening. And if we're not intentional about it, then we are going to find ourselves in a situation where we're not able to gain the economic independence that we're looking for, the economic advantage that technology can bring. I'm going to get straight into it. We prepared two folds to this presentation. One of them is me giving you the rundown with my able assistant here that has refused to leave me alone. So please bear with me. I'm a working mom and a remote working mom as that. And then the second fold of this is going to be the practical steps that Engineer Ejiro is going to take you through. So hopefully we do all three. Before we do all two, and then we can get started. Close the door. Okay, so now let's get into it. I'm happy that we've already read the bios. And so you see that we're coming from a passionate place of knowing the importance of doing what we do, especially when it comes to influencing young minds through digital knowledge. So I'm going to go straight into why we are here and what is future? How can you be future proof? And so I'm coming from a space where I work remotely currently and I work from home. And I'm also coming from a space where I'm an entrepreneur that has hired quite a lot of digital skills and people that have digital skills. I'm also coming from a place where I've also trained people when it comes to digital skills. And so I'm seeing all the issues from three different angles. And that's, part of what I used to prepare these slides today. And so the first angle is, how are employers now hiring people? Has it changed? It has, right? And why has it changed? Because technology has come. The second angle is, as somebody that is also looks for opportunities, also looks for digital opportunities that I can do from home, what are the kind of things that I need to be able to get those opportunities? And so that's another angle. And then the last angle is, so what are the kind of things I need to get those? So what will make people actually look at me? What will make people look at my portfolio and want to hire me? And so that's another angle. And I'm going to be sharing with you what works and what has been working for me. And I know that Engineer Ejiro will also do the same as well. And so why do we even need to be future-proof? I don't know how many of you remember a time when we had, when we didn't have the internet. Anybody? Anybody at all remembers a time when there was no internet access or there was no computers? I remember a time when there was no computers and there was no internet access. And the truth is, everybody's shouting about the digital revolution, digitalization, everything is digital. But there are so many revolutions that have happened in history, and that, if we have taken a hold of it, can change the projectile of the whole continent. And so this one is just one of them. This is the most recent one. But there were so many other things that happened. And so, were we future-proof when that happened? When, one of them was the light bulb. The light bulb came and a lot of people got electricity. Some people used it to work at night. Some people used it to read at night. Some people use it to do 24 hours, services. Some restaurants use it to open shop even when it wasn't late. It's changed. Some people quickly got on it, and some people were really slow to adapting the light bulb, but it happened. A lot of people got wealthy because of the light bulb. And some people stayed there and were not able to generate wealth. And the thing is that every time something new happens, it is a wealth generating opportunity. And so that's why you see, American corners trying to make sure that we catch on and we latch on to the significant time we're in. It's wealth. And so the first and foremost thing about what's happening now in the digital revolution is that it's a wealth generating opportunity, not just for you, but for the entire Nigeria, for the entire continent. But if we are not properly prepared, we don't get to generate the wealth. And so I'm hoping that after this session, we actually show you what proper preparation would look like. And so we'll be focusing on three things. I think I have mixed up my slides a bit. Yeah, so we'll be focusing on three things. One of them is that I've really basically showed you what's important about the importance of future skills and being future-proof. And I'm going to keep saying that and showing you ways in which we can be future-proof. The second one is that for a lot of us, it means that we have to pick up on our digital skills. And I'm also going to show you how to do that as well. And then lastly, there's a mindset. There's a mindset that allows you to tap into this wealth when it comes to digital skills here. Whether you decide from home, whether you decide to work remotely, whether you decide to be an entrepreneur, there are certain skills that you need. And so there's a mindset shift that needs to happen for some of us. So for some of us, there's a mindset elevation that needs to happen so that we're able to tap onto the remote work. And then, of course, I know Engr is going to take the other half, which will actually show you physical, hands-on, practical activities that you can do to ensure that you are future-proof. Okay. So I've talked to you about why it matters. Now, there are three things that are changing when it comes to digital skills and for you to be future-proof that I really want to share with you. We apply for jobs have changed. Has anybody applied for jobs that has had to send in a physical copy of that CV? I can see your faces, so you can raise up your hands. Have you ever applied for a job where you had to print out your physical copy of your CV? Anybody in the room? Hands up. Bauchi, I can see you. So if you've never applied for a job where you have had to send in a physical copy of your CV, that's interesting. And which other states is here? And what about Abuja? Have you ever applied for a job where you had to send in a physical copy of your CV? If you have, please raise up your hand. You have. I can see a few people in Abuja have had to do that. Awesome. Calabar, have you ever applied for a job where you've had to send in physical copies of your CV? If you have, you can raise up your hands. Have you? Just one. I can see like one person raising up their hands in Calabar. Okay, that's great. What about Maiduguri and Ibadan? Ever applied for a job where you've had to send in a physical? Yes, a few people, yes. Do you still apply for jobs where you have to send in physical copies of your CV? But is there anybody that still applies for jobs that? Okay, so now the question is, has anybody applied for a job where you sent in a copy of your CV via email or you filled a form? So I can see you when you raise up your hand. So please, Calabar, anybody? You filled a form to apply for a job? Yes, right? So, yeah, so what about Ibadan? When you apply for jobs now, do you fill a form online or just send it by email? If you fill a form online and send it by email, please raise up your hands because I can see you. So I know if I can see somebody nodding her head over there in Ibadan. So, okay, so absolutely. So yeah, so the way we apply for jobs have changed. I remember when I had to apply for my first job, I literally had to print out my CV and sit down in the person's office for almost the whole day till they got to my turn to interview me. And that didn't happen that day. So I had to come back the next day till they got to my turn to interview me. But guess what? All that has changed. The second one is the jobs that you're going to apply for has also changed. You see where we're doing a lot of manual related jobs. It has so changed that if you're not quick to adapting to the change, we're going to have a problem. Even that CV you're sending in, what the expectation in the CV has changed. Can I tell you something that's changed? How many of us still have our age on our CVs? Raise up your hands. It's okay. Anybody have that age on their CV? Okay, no one. Awesome. Okay, how many of us have our local government area on our CVs? Show of hands. There's no shade though. I can say a few people do. Yeah, so guess what? Even that CV and what is expected to be on your CV has changed because technology has changed it. How many of us know about ATS testing? Hands, ATS. Have you ever heard of ATS testing before? Awesome. I can see one person from anybody else? ATS testing Ibadan. Anybody here of ATS testing? I can see a few people from Abuja. Is there one person in Abuja? What? All those things have changed. And the third thing that has changed because of digital and because of this whole digital revolution is the way what you're expected to do on the job. And so you see us shouting about digital skills, digital skills. So I'm going to start with the first one, jobs you can apply for. So the research has been out. You see all these jobs you're seeing today. Let me just give you a perfect example. Does anybody remember that car? The 504, is it 504? The Peugeot 504 or 506? Anybody? Car lovers. Oh, I can see one person in Abuja that remembers the car, another person in Ibadan. Absolutely. You remember that car, right? Now let me bust your head. Do you know there are some mechanics that used to work on that car that today they're out of jobs because since that car stopped being produced, they don't have any job as far as they're concerned. Do you believe that? There's some mechanics that would for men, you might understand this a bit more. That's because I don't remember which one it is now. That's the only car I know how to work on. So now that we have other cars, we have Kias, we have so many other cars. I don't know how to work on these cars, so I've lost my job. But guess what? There are also some mechanics that knew how to work on that car. And because they knew how to work on that car, they grew their skills to learn how to work on other types of cars, and they never lost a job. Now, for the women, I'll give you another example. How many of us remember typewriters? Has anybody seen a typewriter before? No, you can't do that. Anybody that's seen a typewriter before? Hands again. Have you seen a typewriter before? No. Okay, so I think I saw somebody in Ibadan that said they've seen a typewriter. Anybody else that's seen a typewriter? Okay, Meduguri, has anybody there seen a typewriter? No? Okay, just a few people. Well, guess what? There's some people that their main job was to work on the typewriters. But in their minds, because the typewriter is no longer used, I don't have a job. But there's some people that said, from this typewriter, I can learn to type on a computer. And then from typing on a computer, I can learn to do email management. I can learn to do communications. I can learn to send emails. I can learn to schedule calendars. And they moved from being typists to doing other things that are digital and computer related. They moved to learning how to operate a printer and so many things. See, skills are transferable. Skills are transferable. It's honestly significantly important for you to know that there's nothing new under the sun, and skills are transferable. And some of these skills that people are using today, they were using before. It's just that the way you're using it has changed. And so you will see too that I asked ChatGPT, hi ChatGPT, what are the relevant jobs in 10 years? And he came up with almost 100 jobs for me. But I decided that out of that 100 jobs, I was just going to give you a few. And guess what? Some of these jobs have never been created before, but they only get to come out because of technology. Have you guys, let me just give you an example. The normal accountants. Now, there's not just the normal accountant. There's a blockchain and crypto accountant. Isn't that weird? Move from the normal accountant to a blockchain and crypto account. And why? Because of technology. So it's not that those people lose their job. Can you imagine having an AI auditor? Has anybody heard of NFT curator? Digital detox consultant? Do we need a digital detox consultant? All these are job opportunities for the future. So the job options out there have changed. And most times it's our digital skills that are having the challenge. But if we learn to elevate our skills, which is what we're going to be doing here today, it's going to be easier for you to catch on. So I'm going to quickly move on to the next slide. And so how do we now apply for jobs? So this is something that I've been working on for the past 1 year in ways where I've been training people to look into their CVs, how they're applying for jobs and everything. And so the way we're applying for jobs has significantly changed. There are lots of things that people don't want to see anymore. And I'm going to be sharing with you what has changed. So one of the first things has changed is that now your CV needs to be ATS optimized. And when we say ATS optimized, ATS testing is a testing that happens with a computer. And I'm going to give you an example. Most times, HR managers don't look at your CVs anymore. They don't even bother. What happens is that you're sending your CVs via email. You know the application that I sat down for 2 days to do. We don't do that anymore. As you're sending in your CVs, what really happens now is that they would run your CV through a AI, machine, and the AI software is going to check. Sorry, you can't do that, baby. So, and the AI software is going to check if your CV is optimized or not. So if you're applying for a role that says, I want to apply for an accountant, and you don't have the keywords inside that your CV to apply for that accountant that match the JD they sent, you are not going to get the job. And I'm going to give you an example, a story that, I read. It's an online story, so I can't tell you whether it's fictional or fake, but I think it's a very important lesson. There was a manager in one of these really top 5 Silicon Valley companies. And so he was trying to hire for a role that was going to work closely with him. And so he kept on asking the HR manager, I'm really trying to apply to get people from this role, but what's going on? 2 months, you haven't gotten anybody. 3 months, you haven't gotten anybody. What's going on? And so by the time she said, oh, none of the applications have come through the ATS machine. And so he told her none of the applications have come through the ATS machine. And so by the time she checked the ATS machine, it didn't go through. So he said, are you serious that no applicant has gone through ATS testing? And he said, yes. And she said, yes. Okay, go. So by the time he asked her, she said, yes, that nobody has gone through ATS testing. And so sorry, 1 second.
Karamat. You can summarize what they've had so far.
Okay, everyone. Thank you again for joining today's session. Well, first of all, one of the questions I would like to ask the speaker is the idea of ATS, how it really works. I know that we have, some AI tools.
Okay, so yes,
that actually scrutinizes your CVs and resume.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Can you hear me? Thank
So
you.
it's one of the questions I'm curious to ask, how it really works. I don't know if you have questions like that, please put them in the chat box or raise your hand when it's time for question and answer.
Okay, so it's also, so sorry about that. I have to quickly take my assistants out of the way. It's okay. So it's important to know. So it's important to note that okay. Good answer. So it's important to note that with ATS, Madam Ejiro.
I can hear you.
Yes. Can you give me a minute?
Okay. Would you want me to go ahead with my workshop?
Engineer Ejiro, I don't know if that works, if that can sing.
Yeah, it can work.
Can that work if you have to chime in here?
Yes, I do. I have the slides and it's not going to be too long.
Okay. And it's not going to distract the one she has already, and then, our own session. Okay, she's
working together. We're working hand in
glove.
glove.
Sorry about that. So this holiday. Yes, but
I mean, she was asking if my workshop is going to clash. I said, no, we're working hand in glove.
it's the same.
So,
So what we'll do is she's going to show you how we actually optimize our CVs, which is the practical session that she will take. In the meantime, I will just run through the 3 things that you need to update in order to get remote work and in order to even work digitally and to be future proof. And so I was telling you the story about how to optimize and how a manager internationally was struggling with optimizing his CV and with optimized CVs, and that when he was looking for somebody to hire, they couldn't get anybody to pass the ATS test. And so what he did was he took his own CV and decided to run it through the application. The CV he used to get hired 10 years ago, 15 years ago in that organization. And he decided to run it through ATS testing. And guess what? His CV did not even make it to the HR manager's front. And so he was not asking why. And he said, because the way things 10, 15, 20 years ago has changed. We can no longer do it the way we're doing it then, where we just send our CV, we're not packaging it for keywords, we're not optimizing it, and then we just send it to an HR manager. Now they will not even see it. And so that's why we have these conversations around how can you be future-proof, how can you be digitally ready. And one of those ways is to make sure that you have an optimized CV. I'm not going to run through the optimization of the CV now because I know that Engineer Ejiroghene is going to do that. I'm also going to move on to the next one. The second thing that you need to have is that you need to have some kind of online portfolio and online brands. Your CV is no longer enough. I don't know if you heard me, and I don't know if you can repeat after me. What did I say? Your CV is no longer enough. Your CV is no longer enough. And so it means that even when I get to your CV, now we only expect your CV to be 2 pages. It shouldn't be more than that. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. We just expect a concise 2-page CV when you're sending in your CV for most job applications. Now, if you have a whole lot more years experience, 10, 15, 20 years, it can be a bit more. But really, for those initial entry-level, mid-level careers, we're just expecting a 2-page CV. And so it's very small. They don't get to see you. So what do we do when we are sending in a 2-page CV? We also send in a portfolio. Guess what? Like that conversation you were having earlier, where he gave you a link, he was showing you LinkedIn, he was showing you other places where you can put your personal brand. That is where you now put your portfolio. So if you have a LinkedIn page, every single thing, all that English we used to write on our CVs, now we put it on our portfolio, right? And so that's one of the places to put it. One of the portfolios you can have is a LinkedIn page. But if you're an IT person, how many people are graphic designers here? Do we have any graphics designers here? Raise up your hand. Or web developers. I really like them. I'm seeing a lot of digital. Well, yeah, I can see who's waving right now, especially from Ibadan. Calabar, any graphic designers there? And Abuja? Okay, so if you're a graphic designer or you're any one of these people that do a lot of creative work, you can also have a creative portfolio. There are lots of other tools people use for creative portfolios. I wish I had written some of them down for you. And so if you have additional work and LinkedIn is not enough, you can use, I would remember one of the other tools you can use and then I'll share with you later. So there are a lot of other tools you can use to add to your portfolio. In fact, if you're a creative, you shouldn't just send in your CV. Your CV should have a link to your portfolio because they will make a decision by what they see. Nobody is hiring anybody again by just that CV. If you want to hire you for certain roles and you're creative, you must have an additional portfolio. People put their portfolios on so many platforms depending on. If you're a programmer, any programmers, developers, anyone. If you're a programmer, then you can use something like your Gift Hub with your Gift Hub account. And so your Gift Hub account will give you a portfolio of all, projects you have worked on that are programming related. So if you're a graphic designer, look for platforms that you can put and display some of your designs. If you're a web developer, the same thing. But the truth is, your CV is no longer enough. Your CV is great, it needs to be optimized, but you need something more. For some people, it's not your CV, it might be your personal brand, especially if you're growing as an entrepreneur or whatever it is. Your personal brand is also key. When you Google yourself, what do you see? In fact, I want us to do the activity quickly before I start moving moving on to the next slide. Google yourself, take your phones, Google yourself. What do you see? Somebody is smiling in the bottom. What do you see? Take yourself. I can see some people smiling in Maiduguri as well. What do you see? Are you worried about what you see or are you excited? Bini, when you Google yourself, I can see some people checking their phones. What do you see? Sokoto, when you Google yourself, what do you see? Do say. Oshogbo, when you Google yourself, do you have your phones with you? Google yourself and tell me what you see. Mina, I wish we could unmute one of the corners to tell me what they see so that we can use it as a case study for the entire session. When you Google yourself, what do you see?
If you have any response or
share?
comments, kindly read them or put them in the chat box.
When you Google yourself, what do you see? Zaria, when you Google yourself, what do you see? This is so interesting because I get the whole perspective from almost every single corner in Nigeria. So I'm really excited to hear from one person at least. Yola, you're going to be the one to tell me what you see. When you Google yourself, what do you see? Anybody, somebody? I'm waiting for somebody to unmute and tell me what they see. Uyo, I can see a lot of people smiling in Uyo. When you Google yourself, what do you see? Does your name come out? Yes, someone from Benin, please go ahead. Can Benin be unmuted or do I have to do it from here?
Yes,
Yeah.
submitted. Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, we can hear you. You can tell me your name and then tell me what you saw.
Yes, I just typed my full name, Ejiroghene Momo. And the first thing that came out was my LinkedIn.
Awesome.
And then Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Shopism, podcast.
You have a Shopism account?
Yes. Okay. Podcast, Quora, and Seller. Yes, that's what came out. All my account, everything just came out.
That's good. A lot of people will not hire people anymore without checking, especially if you're going to do some kind of digital. They'll do the basic digital background check. They will not go and pay police to do a background check like that. So they'll do the basic digital background check. What is this person saying? What is this person doing? Maiduguri, I know somebody Maiduguri wants to speak up.
Yes, we have someone to share his experience quickly.
Awesome.
We have somebody who wants to say something about Googling himself.
Awesome.
Quickly. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Good day, ma.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Thanks for having me here. I Google myself and all I see is other people's brands or Facebook accounts. Okay. How do I make myself to form up?
I love that question. I love that question. So this is it. What you put online is what you get, right? Certainly. And this is, unfortunately, I can't take all the other questions because I really want Engineer Ejiro to go through her session quickly. So what you put online is honestly what you get. And so if you're not putting good content, you're not getting good content. Some people are busy writing, abusing everybody online, doing this, doing that. You're going to get that. And so if you put in a good portfolio, you will see a good portfolio. If you just put in your social media handles, you will only see your social media handles. And so the truth is now, nobody just wants to see your social media handles. Write articles, post it. Right? There's so many blog sites where you can post your own opinion about whether you're a graphic designer or whatever. People want to see who you're about. And sometimes that's the difference between building a brand. And building a brand can get you recurring jobs without you even having to apply for it. Your LinkedIn page, create that LinkedIn account. Fill it up, add a picture. Anytime you put a picture online, change the name of the picture from the general name and write your name on it so that anytime your name comes out, your pictures will also come out that are properly identified to you. Do you understand what I mean? Write things on LinkedIn. Don't just create an account and don't write anything. When you create a LinkedIn account, write comments, write opinions, write opinion pieces about how you feel about certain things. If you're a graphic designer, you can talk about 6 elements of great designs. Just write things that have to do with, your job perspective, things that you want to see. Like, for instance, I love to talk about digital transformation. And so when you see me write online, I talk about digital transformation. I write about it. I do videos about it. Everything I talk about is usually around digital transformation. And so Pick up 4 or 5 keywords that should be related to you. So for you, it can be graphics design, good work ethics, whatever it is. 4 things that you want to be associated with your name, and start talking about those things. Let people see that resource online. And so if you start posting on Instagram, posting on LinkedIn and all those other things, you start to see that your search is different. When people say, please come for an interview, don't say no. Go for the interview. When they say, well, I want to film you for TV, do it. And make sure that they write your name correctly so that it shows. Build a brand that will help you tomorrow when you want to apply for a job and somebody searches. They say, oh, this is a really great person. They know what they're talking about. Remember that you're no longer setting yourself up with just Nigeria alone. You know, see the way we can see the whole of Nigeria here. Now we can see the whole of the world. We can literally get access to the whole of the world in a minute. And so why will you be the best candidates to hire? If I Google you, will I even see who you are? You will not come up as top 5, right? For some of us, because we are not building an online portfolio that shows that we're interested in certain things and that we're a good person to hire. So build that kind of portfolio. I hope that was helpful. Unfortunately, I have a lot of tips there, but I wouldn't be able to do more practicals. I can see a lot of hands raised because of time. And so the next one is, and I've just talked about a little bit, have an international mindset. See how we are seeing everybody. I'm seeing Benin, I'm seeing Calabar, I'm seeing Maiduguri. Literally, we can see the whole world, and the whole world can see you. And so if you're still thinking about in terms of, oh, it's just in Calabar, it's no longer like that, right? Or I'm just going to be in Uyo. No, like we literally have access to candidates that in China, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa. I put out an application for a job role. Most times I get people from all over the world ready to earn very little to work. So why does your application stand out? The job market has just literally gone flat like this. So everybody can see the job opportunities available. And so it's up to you to make sure that you can set yourself apart online. Don't look at online as, oh, I just want to go and be on Instagram. Instagram is a tool, pretty much. And then, of course, relevant job sites. Because we are dealing with this from Nigeria, there are actually job sites that are relevant to Nigeria and they're relevant to getting a job in Africa. If you are an entrepreneur, the same thing. There are a lot of opportunities that are relevant to us here. And so look for those relevant job sites. I can't say so much about the relevant job sites now because of time. But if you are following any one of the resources, I don't know, I could send a resource out that actually really does speak to a list of some of the relevant job sites that I have, so that that can be helpful for those people that are applying that need some kind of support there. There are some job sites that because, yes.
Yeah, I think I have a short time. I'm supposed to leave by 3 o'clock. Okay, I'm on transit, so I don't know if you can just give me time so that you can have more time with them when I'm through with the workshop.
I even think this is a good time because of the practical session that you have. I think this will be a great time, and then I can take it afterwards.
I wanted to ask, I don't know if you are done with your slide, or would you like to round off in 5 so that she can take the,
No, so we're pretty much done. The last part of it is just talking about, some of the expected skills. But I think she should just go ahead and then I can round up, because this is really just a good roundup as well. So she can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. In fact, I didn't even want you to stop. If not that I'm on transit and I need to get to the airport in a short time. So thank you so much for that presentation. Let me quickly share my slide. Okay. So Dami has keyed in so much to what we need to get our future ready, okay, to get us ready for the future in terms of working, in terms of getting jobs, in terms of getting visible, being noticed in today's global environment. So she talked about things that are almost obsolete. She talked about the typewriter, and I don't need to go through all of that. So straight away, without wasting time, I'm going to talk about how we can optimize our CV and also our social media presence, specifically LinkedIn. So why LinkedIn? LinkedIn is currently one of the quickest ways to get a job remotely or to be seen beyond the borders of where you are currently. So, and it's actually a professional, will I say, professional way of showing yourself. Okay, so we have social media websites, sites or tools like Facebook, YouTube, we have Instagram, we have so many others, but LinkedIn puts you out there, positions you out there to be employable or to get opportunities. It might not just be getting a job. It might just be maybe selling your products or selling your services. Maybe you're a tutor or you have something you do, you're a content creator, or you have your software developer or something. So LinkedIn is actually a very, very useful tool that can help you to position yourself. So now, quickly, without wasting time, we'll move to the next slide. So there are things that recruiters look out for in our applications. The first thing is being specific, being clear. So you have to be clear, unambiguous. What I mean by unambiguous is not too many words, too many big words, but they want to be sure that you are clear of exactly what skills you are offering in that job description. So
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. The slide is not moving. Yeah, you are on the second slide, but it's not here. Would you navigate it? It's not showing.
Okay, so which one are you saying now? The first
Second
one?
slide, the first slide. This is what we have, the first slide.
Okay. Can you see the second slide now?
I wouldn't know. From my hand, it's still not moving. It's not there. I don't know if anybody sees the second slide.
Okay, let me find out if the others can see. If the others
can see, please raise your hand.
You can see the second slide.
You're still on the first slide, ma'am.
Okay,
maybe you can take it off and take it back. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll stop sharing and reshare the screen. Okay, share documents. Okay, can you see the second slide now?
From my hand, it's still loading though. So.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's all right. We understand the network.
Okay.
It's still loading.
Still loading.
Is it clear now?
Not yet.
Not yet. It's still loading.
Okay, while it's loading, I can just be saying something.
Please. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so in Nigeria, many job descriptions ask for the same important tools that Dami mentioned, the use of the ATS. So you have that also in Nigeria. So you have to use the exact words. It's very important to use these exact words. Also, I'm going to tell you about numbers. Numbers are powerful. So in your CV, numbers will show your results and make your experience believable. For example, you could be saying, in my last job, I increased sales by 15%. It's better than just saying I increased sales. So it should be measurable. Your achievements in your CV should be measurable. Sorry, can you see my second slide now, or it's still loading?
I think it's still loading. Would you like to take it off and take it back again? The network probably cut it off at that part.
Okay, I actually shared this slide with Grace, or should I don't know. Should I share it in the... Please, can you share your number, the WhatsApp number? Let me quickly...
I think you shared it with me. Can I?
Okay. Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very well.
Let me stop sharing. Okay, so while she's sharing that slide, so basically, the long and short of this is to use the right keywords. show your results with numbers, and write clearly to get noticed. So now the second slide I was moving on to, I'm going to talk about the use of tools that can make it easier for you to optimize your CV and optimize your LinkedIn profile. So it's about AI, artificial intelligence. So it's helping actually to make you more visible, make it easier for you to apply for a job and get picked out and make sure that you're actually the best fit. So I don't know if, Dami, have you been able to share this?
Just 1 second, it's just trying to download. It was because, yes, but I should get it in a minute or so then.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about things that artificial intelligence can do for you and also does for the companies or the people that we want to find us out there. So AI will help companies to look at huge numbers of applications for a job, okay? And it can help you to pick out the best fit. See, so it makes the hiring process faster by doing a lot of those repetitive work, automatically saving time and effort. It also makes hiring faster. So it can, somebody who can make good use of the AI tool can actually do kind of without the HR at their own cost. Okay, so it also carefully matches a person's skills with what a job requires. So that's for you, the applicant. So in short, AI makes it faster and fairer for companies to find the right people. So in the third slide, okay, we're in the third slide. Okay, so now how is AI transforming the job search and recruitment process? Okay, thank you. Okay, so now AI can help you in language enhancement. So it helps you to write more clearly and sound more professional. It can also help you in content customization. That means your CV, you can actually upload your CV in an AI tool, and it's going to help you to match your CV, customize your CV to be exactly specific to the job that you're looking for. But mind you, when using AI, there are also plagiarism, like AI detectors and all that. So the AI is just a guide. It's not copy and paste. It's just to guide you to know what exactly, how to start to format your CV to be what it should be. Then we have ATS. Somebody was asking, what is ATS? So ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. So ATS is something that comes off, or if you think of it as a robot recruiter and a computer filter. Okay, so it helps to filter off, makes the job easier for selection processes. Okay, so if you apply for a job online, your application usually does not go directly to the people or the human being. So before it even gets to the HRO person, it first goes through this computer system. So it scans your CV and to see if it contains the keywords. So that job you're applying for, there's a keyword that is specific for that job. And if those keywords are not found in your CV and doesn't match the skills and the keywords mentioned in the job description, the ATS automatically takes your CV out of that. It then ranks the applications, okay, and shows the best matched ones to the human recruiter. So an ATS is a computer program that companies use to automatically sort through hundreds of job applications. Okay, let's move to the first slide. Okay, so now we are talking about, want to go straight to the tools that we can use to help us enhance our CV, optimize our CV. So the first tool that you can use is one that everybody knows. How many of us know ChatGPT? I'm sure everybody knows ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, like I said, will help with language enhancement, content customization, help to enhance your profile, your LinkedIn profile, help to enhance your CV, and optimizes your keywords. The 5th slide, please. Please, can you move to the 5th slide? Okay, optimizing your CV with AI tools. So the 6th slide, okay, ChatGPT. So I have some examples. So it can tailor your resume to extract to job posts by extracting the key skills and the phrasings that help. Okay, so if you have a job description, you can copy that job description onto your ChatGPT, okay, and ask it to optimize your CV. So you can, ChatGPT has features where you can upload your CV directly to ChatGPT. Then it can help. It's a very good tool for that. So there are many things you can do with ChatGPT that will enhance and optimize your CV. So let's move to the 7th slide. Okay, so ChatGPT can do a lot of things. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so now there are things that can guide our editing. So while we are editing our CVs, you can copy a special prompt and give it to ChatGPT along with your AI, which is what I said. So this prompt will ask the ChatGPT to do 3 things. It's going to find the missing skills in your CV. It's going to find the weak words and the passive sentences. And it's going to suggest it's going to suggest sentences that include a challenge, your action, and a numerical result. So even if these things are not in your CV, it's going to suggest experiences. Okay, so let's go to the 8th slide. Okay, now there's another tool that can be used. So you can, if you go to manus.io, so if you have your phone or your laptop, you can type on manus.io. So it takes you to the site. So this is also a very good tool that can help, I think, if not better than ChatGPT, that can give you fast insight on any gaps that could appear on your CV. Weak verbs, missing skills. Okay. So how many of us have visited the site? I can see American Space Medugri. This is supposed to be a workshop, although we're going to get to some of the tools that will actually search out. So if you go to visit Manus, you can search Manus on your Google. So if it opens up Manus, you just click directly to the site. Then you need to sign in. You can sign in with your Gmail account, but usually you can have a second Gmail for the purpose of AI tools. Okay, so to protect your privacy, you can create a special Gmail for accessing AI tools so that you don't use your direct Gmail. Okay, please can we move to the next slide? So that's it for Manus. Now let's go to LinkedIn. The next slide, please. Manus can work for actually LinkedIn and can work for your CV. I want us to go and talk about resume wording. Okay, so now resume worded is another amazing tool that can actually get you very, very far in terms of optimizing your CV. So I want each and every one of us to go to the site, resume worded. This is something that you can test on the go. If you have your CV in your phone or your laptop, just quickly upload your CV, upload it on your on resume worded, and it's going to give you percentage your it's going to rate your CV according to percentage. So I don't know if we can do that. It's something you can do with your phone. You can do it with your phone, you can do it with your laptop. So if you succeeded in going into resume worded, please, can I see your hands? Okay. If you've gone in there, have you uploaded your CV? I don't know if anybody's doing this. You can use your phone for this. If you have internet enabled phone, you can use your phone for that. And then for LinkedIn, you have to go to your LinkedIn profile. First of all, how many of us have our LinkedIn profile? You have a LinkedIn profile. Can I see show of hands? Oh, that's good. I can see somebody in Maiduguri, Calabar. So I advise each and every one of us to start to build our LinkedIn profile. Even if you're still in school, you're not yet in the, you're not yet a young school leaver or a young professional, I think you should start to build your LinkedIn profile. So if you go on your LinkedIn profile, you can go to your profile section and download the profile. So it's that downloaded profile that you will upload on resume worded. Let me see, I wish someone can actually achieve that so that we can see how it works. We can see how this works. Is anybody succeeding in this? Okay, it's actually something I advise everybody to do, whether you're a mid-level professional or you're young professional or you're still in school. So if your LinkedIn is not optimized, you don't get noticed. You don't get noticed on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, I tell you, it's a platform where you can actually get remote work. You can get contacted by companies, organizations, associations. You can get seen. Your work can get seen. So if you succeed in doing in rating your CV or your LinkedIn profile on resume worded, you should be having from 70% and above for you to actually have an effectively optimized profile or CV. I don't know if anybody succeeded in that. Please, I would like us, if you did not succeed, when you get home, try to check it. So now, how this works is, if you score lower than 70% on your CV, in fact, I want to see the higher, I would like to see the highest score we have here. It's actually difficult to get 35% across board. It's actually very difficult to get 35%. But for you to be discovered by recruiters out there, you need to be talking of 75% and above. So how do you achieve this?
Dutse. I don't know, Dutse would like to chime in, I think, concerning the resume worded.
Okay.
Do you want to say something, Dutse? If you have tried that and there is an outcome, please. Yes.
I
Briefly
think this
talk
takes
about it.
it takes seconds to even get a read.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Please shoot.
I already checked my own. It shows me 37% for the LinkedIn profile check.
Oh, that's a start. So 35%, it's something you can work on. At least you have something to work on. So if you look down, it's going to give you recommendations and tell you areas that you need to improve. So can I see some of the areas that it asks you to improve? If you look at those areas, then you can, yes, go ahead.
Yes, it has said I can fix the summary. It says add details into your LinkedIn summary.
Okay, good.
And also
So
it has says
go ahead.
And the work experience. It said some of your work experiences need improvement.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where.
Yeah. So thank you very much. That's very awesome. That's, in fact, one of the best ways you can optimize your CV. So with these points for fixing, you can take these points individually and go to ChatGPT. You can take the summary, copy the summary section of your LinkedIn, take it to ChatGPT and just type in the prompt. The prompt says, please add more details to my LinkedIn summary. Of course, you must have given ChatGPT a background information on your LinkedIn profile so that it can flesh it out with that. And then after that, you work on each of the points that need fixing, and then you take this LinkedIn profile back to Resume Worded, and you continue to rate it until you can achieve at least an 80%. Once you achieve an 80%, then you find out that you start getting noticed. You could start to even get some invitations for job opportunities. So can we go on to the next CV? The next slide, sorry. Okay, so now we're going to look at some upgrades. So this is somebody's CV section. So the before section says, he used a sentence, a very simple and straightforward sentence, but it was not enough. So it says, worked on a group project to build a robot. So this kind of sentence is actually not clear, it's vague, because it doesn't give us specific, it doesn't give us numbers, it doesn't give us achievements. Okay, so it just says he worked in a group project to build a robot. But after optimizing it using your AI tool, it says build 3-wheel line follower with Arduino and IR sensor that reached 95% tracking accuracy in lab tests and reduced cost time by 20%. So if this is what your AI tool brings out for you to flesh it up, you can now go in and humanize it. We also have a tool we call Humanize AI. So you have to also go copy this after and check whether it is AI, check whether it's AI, whether there's still this AI thing, because I know that some companies are also check for AI edits. So we have other examples here. So on a CV, someone says helped maintain lab equipment. Help maintain lab equipment is too vague and it doesn't get you notice enough. So after fleshing it out, we have logged. The person's description now is saying log and fix 30 minor faults across 3 labs. Cut average downtime per. Okay, although this looks too long, but at least it gives you more specificity, gives you numbers, gives you achievements on your roles. So you're applying for a job, they need to know what exactly you achieved, how did the company, how was the company before you met, and what you did to improve. Okay, so if you say you're working in the maintenance lab department, what did you do? That means there were faults, there were minor faults in this lab, but after you worked with them, you're able to fix some of those faults. So this now makes you like relevant to that role. Please, can we go on the next slide? So also another tool I like that is very, very useful is Gamma. So you can use Gamma to build a clean ATS-friendly CV. Okay, so it's very easy to use. It's user-friendly. If you log on to Gamma, just type Gamma in your search engine. If you have your phone, your internet-enabled phone, please just go ahead and search it, or your laptop. So there's so many things Gamma can do for you. Gamma can help you to build a CV. It can help you to build your PowerPoint presentations. It can help you to flesh out your articles, your write-ups, okay? So, and also, let's not forget to humanize it. So these days, recruiters frown at AI-generated content. So the purpose of the AI is not for copy and paste, it's to guide you, to help you strengthen your CV. So when you use it, try to remove all traces of AI. Make sure you use your humanized AI to ensure that your work is 100% humanized. So thank you very much. That's my presentation for today.
Oh, so thank you so very much. See, I must say, I don't know for anybody, but from my own perspective, subjectively, you nailed it. I mean, I don't know how you did it, but that was very great. That was comprehensive, comprehensible, and it was short, concise, and beautiful. Thank you so very much to the two speakers. I've learned a whole lot, though there are so many apps that we help people in navigating through, and thousands of them. But this is one of those apps that I've never heard of before, I must say. And I want to say thank you so very much for this, beautiful session. It was great. It was very professional, and at the same time, as I said, beautiful. So I know we have so many people with so many questions, yeah? And if you have any question, put them in your chat box, raise your virtual hand, and you'll be called accordingly. And again, you talked about the LinkedIn accounts. Even at the American space, we cannot overemphasize the importance of having a LinkedIn account, because wherever you want to work, if you want to go to school, go to the US to study, all this will be tracked. And if you have a LinkedIn account or any other account aside from LinkedIn, and you know that is not good enough, please filter it. Filter your social media accounts. I cannot overemphasize this. Filter it if you know you are seeing some things that is not congruent to what you are doing or what you want to study or anything. Go and filter it. Go and delete them. Make it professional. Make it reasonable. You can use your LinkedIn account as a professional site for you to, expand your horizon, to blow your trumpet. LinkedIn account is very important. And I'm so happy that the two speakers talked about LinkedIn accounts. So on that note, I'll just call the, virtual hands at the moment. We don't have any question in the chat box at the moment. So we have American Center, Abuja. You can unmute yourself and speak. Ask your question.
Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation, Mr. Daniel. I wanted the speakers to put us more on how to optimize our LinkedIn account using the Presumia, because I've been having some difficulties using my international passport. So I don't know if any of us have experienced that before. So, thank you.
Do you want to go ahead?
No, you can go ahead, man.
Okay, so LinkedIn, how do you optimize LinkedIn? So you mentioned two things. You mentioned the optimization, but when you talked about international passport, that's a separate thing that I think you're having an issue with that I can discuss. But on optimization, just look out for, I'm going to give you that make sure you have a good standout headshot profile. That your picture, please don't do selfie. You know, when you hold your phone and you're just doing a selfie and saying cheese, don't do that. Actually get a good proper headshot, proper lights, proper, you know, proper camera. If you want to go to a studio, it's fine. If you don't have money for a studio, just stay in the lights. Just don't do it inside your bedroom with all the, or in a car. Just stay in the lights and make sure that you get your face in. That's one. That helps with the optimization. Two is the words you use. Whatever you're doing in your profile, that's your online, your LinkedIn profile. I always like it to have three things: what I've done before, what I'm currently doing, and the opportunities I'm looking for. What I've done before, what I'm currently doing, and the opportunities I'm looking for. Number three is that LinkedIn allows you to put in all your skill sets. You can put in at least 120, I think, skills. And so use it. Any skill that's relating to your job, use it. If you're a web graphics designer, any skill that's related to, if you do Figma, if you use Canva, if you just write all those tiny skill sets there, you can put in 120. Make sure you put in as much as possible to optimize. And the fourth thing I always say in terms of optimization is make sure you get your references. And so if you work for somebody, even if it's 2 days, or you did something for someone, send them an email that, please, would you love to give me a recommendation? And so let them send you a recommendation that will be posted. People see those recommendations and it means that they validated you in some way or the other. And so the last thing that you didn't ask me, but I see where the challenge is coming from, is that you're trying to verify yourself using your ID card. And so LinkedIn doesn't like it when you have more than one profile. It's one of those platforms where you can't have two different profiles with different, you know, variations to your name. It will shut it down. I've tried it. I know it doesn't work. And so they always ask you to verify with some kind of ID card, valid ID card. And so you can do that. And so that is sometimes challenging. Just make sure the ID card is, again, the picture on the ID card is very visible. They can see it. It takes a while to do that verification and to do that process, but do it and then make sure you don't have multiple profiles out there. They will shut it down.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your response. That was good. Thank you so much. We have Benin City window on America. Would you come closer so you can ask a question?
Okay, I have two questions. The first one is, I've heard that you can post anything you do on LinkedIn. I want to know how true that is. Is there a method on what you should post? And then, is there a proper way to post? Because when I go through LinkedIn, I see pictures and then some write-ups, some is motivational speaking. Like, I don't know, is that the way everybody should post? So is there a proper way to post, and what is proper to post? So those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay, so can you post anything on LinkedIn? Yes. Should you post anything on LinkedIn? No. I hope that was well explained. Can you post anything? Probably yes. Should you post anything? No. And this is why I always advise that you don't post anything on LinkedIn, just anything on LinkedIn. And I'll tell you what to post, because that was your next question. Because you're keeping a record. You're also setting a tone for who you are, what you're about. And that one is seen by your future employees, your future colleagues, everything. And so if you want to set a record as, oh, I'm a great web developer, then post about that. Don't start posting about fashion school. Let it be consistent to the brand that you're trying to build. If you're trying to post as a fashion designer, then post about fashion school, post about all those things. Let it be consistent to the brand you're trying to build. Don't go posting about bakery or, you know, things that are just so far off that people are not able to tell who is this person. So you can post anything on LinkedIn, but be very intentional about what you're posting, because LinkedIn is a professional and so that means it's used professionals to find other to network with other professionals. You can now go to your TikTok and so other channels that you're not using as a professional platform to do the other random things you want to do. I hope that was clear. The second one is that should there be a method to your posting? There should be. Pictures are great when you're having an example of anything you're posting, you're adding pictures because people remember. Videos are also better and fantastic. have to find. For instance, if you're within a particular space, if it doesn't, it's still okay. There's no hard and fast rule, but I've noticed a few things work online. Keywords, using keywords to post works online. There's no hard and fast rule. LinkedIn will not come and shut you down because you didn't post it the way you should post. But another thing is some of the things you will learn by doing. Don't say, oh, because I don't want to give you a list of what not to do and what to do, because then you cross your hands and you will not do it because you'll be like, oh my God, I don't want to get it wrong. You get what I mean? I want you to explore, to try, to make mistakes and to relearn and unlearn, like somebody said, and to relearn again. So that's really what it is. So don't start posting. In fact, go on your phone now as I finish speaking and say something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a start. And then you build from there. Your audience will respond to you. You can even say, hey, I'm at the American corner in Benin and I'm learning this and this and this with this and this and these people. And post to take a picture with your colleagues and post that. That's a good post to make. And just keep posting. And as you got anything that you're doing professionally, just post about it. Any network you're building a relationship, post about it, follow them on LinkedIn. The people you're sitting down with now, before you leave the room, you should have at least 5 people that you have connected to on LinkedIn. That's how to use it. When you go to an event, look for a few people, say, oh, let's connect on LinkedIn, keep that professional network, and you tag them. There's some people that I've met like that with so many other programs that have helped me build my professional network today and build my careers. Called me when they see my post and say, oh, I didn't know you're doing this in Nigeria. Let's connect. So that's how to use LinkedIn. While you're here now, follow people, connect, take a picture together. That can be a selfie as long as it's not your professional headshot. And then say something about the experience. That's how to post on LinkedIn.
Okay, ma. So
thank you so very much. Do you still have a question?
I want to say something. Okay, so she had already answered because she mentioned web development, and not everybody, the several programs I've went for, that's what many persons are quick to mention first: web development, web design. So a person that is not what they are doing, or you said the professional is a professional platform. So it's better to be direct. It's better to let them know what you are doing. What if you are doing a lot of things? What if, although it's professional, there are several more than just web development that you are doing? So I think she answered it later on by saying, taking picture, just letting people be informed about what you are currently doing, so you don't know which one will actually score you in. So thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so very much. And I might add that whatever you are doing, even if it's a plumbing work, make it professional, make it enthusing, make it, there's a way you can redefine your words to make it much, like the first part I want to read, the first paragraph, make it enthusing, let me continue reading it. Put pictorial representation, something that would show that this is what you are doing, this is what you're talking about, even before I start reading it. So Engineer Ejiro said, engage positively on posts. You are engaging with people, you are adding people on your LinkedIn account. Also comments. If you think that, okay, this what she's doing, or if what he or she is doing goes in line with what you are doing, comment. You don't necessarily have to comment on everything, but comment on things that you can relate with professionally. Again, professionally. Okay, there is a question from the chat box, which I would like to read out before we go back to the online participants. What tips can you share for identifying genuine remote jobs, job opportunities, and avoid scams? That's the first question. Number 2, is there any difference between CV and resume?
So I'm going to answer the second question first, because I think that's pretty interesting.
That's a good one. Yes.
So that, before people will say there's a difference, one is longer, one is shorter, but the truth is nobody sees that anymore. That's one of those things that's faded away with time and faded away with technology. When they say sending your CV or your resume, they just expect that anyone you send out is 2 pages long. And so just understand that even though, yes, like if you're looking at it traditionally, there was a big difference, not anymore. People just want you to send out something, a brief, details about your job experiences that they can understand and speak to and use it to ask you the right questions. So don't overthink the terminologies in your head. I really want you to focus on what it is they expect you to have and make sure that you have them within whatever it is you send out. And some of those things Engineer Ejiro had mentioned, have a profile in it, have your phone number, have your email address, have your LinkedIn page, or a link to another professional bio profile, have your education, have good details about the jobs you've done in the past. Those are the things to have. If you are volunteer somewhere, volunteerism is amazing and considered very highly in other countries. Make sure that you put it there. But just have those things there. Don't overthink whether they said receive your resume. Really, what they want from you is 2 pages long, especially if you're entry or mid-career, with good details about who you are and what you're doing. Have your location, especially if you want to work remotely. Don't write your full address, block 39, number 7, blah, blah. Nobody wants to know those details. What we want to know from you is if it's Abuja, Nigeria, that's perfect. If you're in Duse, in Maiduguri, Nigeria, that's perfect. That's more than enough. When they start asking you details, they'll get more information from there. So the second tip on how can you optimize identifying genuine and remote jobs, I really like talking about this one because it ties into remote work and a lot of people have been scammed. Number one, if they're asking you for money, it's not a genuine job site. So please, that's not one of your website. To the email address it's coming from. If it's coming from an email address that's, like they're saying that from Facebook, but they're sending you facebook@gmail.com, it's a red flag. So pay attention to those things that, are in the email, are from the email. In the email, most of those things are usually a scam. There are some websites that I would even automatically say don't go to. Even if you have, there are some jobs that you may not even be able to tell from the website or the email. Apply for them, but keep your eye out. Like you keep your eyes open, like wide open. And then you start looking at what they're asking you next. If they start asking you that, oh, send money to this account, then you obviously know it's a scam and everything. If they're asking you to go through a process, it's absolutely better. If they're asking you to go to another app and so, be very careful. Usually, if it's genuine, it will be straight up. They'll call you, they'll ask you for an interview. Don't do any interviews with you not showing your face. Make sure you show your face and you are professional in your interview so that you can see and ask the right questions. If Google the organization, a lot of applicants these days, they feel like they're doing themselves a favor by not checking in on the organization. You're applying, you're not looking at the organization. It's actually, and you think it's just for the organization that you're doing your research. No, it's for you. It's also to protect yourself. People have been scammed. And so if you start Googling it and start saying, oh, this person said they're working with themail.com, and you start checking in on themail.com, you might now find that there are other Reddits and other communities that have talked about this thing being a scam. But because you are not doing that your own homework, you're getting scammed. And so most of the time, there's enough information available online for you to do your own research. Do it. And then the best thing about doing it is that when you now go for the interview, the organization is proud that the person took the extra work to find out who they are before they came for that interview. So that's my advice on genuine jobs. And there's also a list of genuine. I would love to share that. I can share it with the organizers much later. There's a list of genuine job sites I use and I share with people that I feel like they come highly recommended, especially if you're in Africa looking for a job, a remote work, then yeah, these are opportunities that you can latch onto. But the truth is that most remote jobs are not even posted. Most jobs are not even posted online. They come through referrals and networking. And that's why we talk about using LinkedIn. So that's why we talk about using LinkedIn.
Thank you so very much. I think we will like the list, actually. I hope you do not forget that. Thank you so much. That's one of the skittles and roses of this kind of programs. Yeah, we have SE Badon, Calabar. Kindly unmute yourself and speak.
Right. Thank you so much, Ma. So my first question would be, for other social media platforms, they tell us that engagements like likes and comments are very important for positioning yourself for jobs and opportunities. So I just want to ask, is that also the same case for LinkedIn? And then for LinkedIn, how can we get more engagement in terms of likes, comments, and all that on our platforms? Thank you very much.
Awesome. I don't know if I thought somebody
Did you hear that?
I heard him. He was talking about engagement is usually relevant on other social media platforms. Is engagement also relevant here? Yes, I mean, it's not the biggest criteria for LinkedIn, but it is relevant. the biggest criteria for LinkedIn will be the networking, will be to engage on other people's platforms, not engagement on yours. You see, I posted, how many people are liking my post. It is also the other people posted, how much feedback am I giving to that post? Do you get what I mean? So the more you actually engage, not waiting for people to engage with your content, the more visible in most cases. In fact, to all platforms now you are. They've changed the algorithm from even 3 years ago. Now it's about, they also want to see you engage. And so if you see somebody, for instance, that is posting about, oh, my experience at home, or my women, alumni fellowship, or whatever it is, on your own visibility. But also on LinkedIn, it's not just about that. If you ask me what I feel LinkedIn uses the most, I would say it is probably networking and the other things you do with the platform in regards, not particularly you posting. But if you want to get more engagement on your post, I would say use your pictures, use your videos. Be very intentional about doing pictures and videos, because text is not enough. To be honest with you, I read at 20%. I watch videos and pictures at 80%. And I'm sure some people are even worse. They probably don't do that. So just recognize that our habits have also changed. And so make sure that you are putting your post in a way that people will be happy, like she said earlier, to engage with it. Somebody also mentioned something in the comment that said, can I post past experiences and events? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do a throwback. You can even just post and be like, oh, last month I did this and that and that. Some people like to even collate everything they did into a month and say, August this here's what happened in my August, and do a summary. So just, you can find unique ways to post it. There's nothing like a stale event, do you get? Even if it's 10, 15 years from now, if you find a way to present it to your audience, present it. I know something I like to do. Once I'm applying for a particular thing, whether it's a consultancy, whatever it is, around that time, you see me posting aggressively on all the things I did in relation to that consultancy that I applied for, knowing fully well that they will most likely check my LinkedIn. So that when they see the first 3 or 4 posts, they're seeing some of my work around that area. It has gotten me jobs by doing that. And so just recognize that it's more about strategy than it's about just throwing out posts everywhere.
Thank you very much. It's not like Instagram that you are waiting for people to like you and engage you. Repost, engage. It is important. It is a space of professionalism and engagement. Engage. She has emphasized that. Please engage your people that you're following, people you're not following. I've seen people that are reposted, that they are not even my, a LinkedIn mutual, but they reposted that, oh, this woman, oh, let me follow her. Let me like her page. Let me see what she's doing. Let me repost. Let me engage. Please, the importance of engagement. We have Uyo Window on America. Do you still want to speak? Okay, yes. Kindly unmute yourself. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I have 3 questions. Quick. The first one is, what is the future-proof skill? That part was supposed to be handled by Damilola, but you didn't really strike him before you handed the mic to your colleague. And then, what is an international mindset? That was supposed to be your part of the points we were supposed to discuss, but you didn't touch it. And again, they are all important to me, and that's why I'm asking. So the last one is, we're talking about using HR and AI to optimize our CV. How long will the HRs or employers accept AI-powered CVs? I'm actually using an AI-powered CV, but how long are they going to accept? There is a way AI usually puts things. And when you are looking at it, if you are very professional, you get to know that this expression is an AI power, or is actually formatted by maybe AI or something like that. So how long can HRs accept the AI powered CVs? Those are my 3 questions. Thank you.
Awesome. What's your name again?
Ejiroghene.
Oh, wow. I don't think I will be able to pronounce it. But I do want to say your questions honestly put a smile on my face. They're very, very fantastic questions. I'd actually presented what makes somebody future-proof here. What makes somebody future-proof? And for me, there are 4 things. And I talk about this a lot in different ways. And so when I saw the caption that was future-proof related, I was really excited. One of the first things that makes somebody future-proof is your ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I know she talked about it earlier, that adaptability to knowledge. I'm going to share my screen because I think it's really important now. Your adaptability and willingness to learn. And I like when she said learn, unlearn, and relearn. It's something I say all the time. And it's something honestly relevant to digital. Digital will always change. You see this question you asked about CV, how long do we use an AI-powered CV? So as long as they use it, once it changes, you need to be able to adapt to the next thing. But there's going to be change. Unfortunately, before technology, change was really slow. Now, change is happening faster. And so you just need to keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes open, just pay attention to what's happening within the space. It doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you want to get into one market or the other, you need to be able to adapt, to be willingness to learn. That was one thing that makes somebody future-proof for me. The second one is that you need to have a strong foundation of digital skills. You see this thing where before it was just, I can read, I can write, I can calculate basic maths. It's no longer like that. It's now I can read, I can write, I can calculate, I can type, I can use my email, I can use my calendar, I understand how to work online and be safe. There's a strong foundation of digital skills that everything else that is coming is going to be built on. And so you need to expand your knowledge of what is basic. It's no longer just, I went to school. Literacy has passed that. Literacy now has to include digital literacy. And if you have a strong foundation of that, you'll be fine. And so when I say strong foundation, some people say, I've already done Microsoft Word. That's not enough anymore. Are you able to collaborate with Google Word Docs? Do you get what I mean? Are you able to use this collaboration and communication tools? It has become so core that you cannot just know it on a surface. There's so much more to do with your emails. There's so much more to do with Microsoft Word. There's so much more to do PowerPoint presentations. For some people, they'll say, I already know it. No, there's nothing like I already know it. You would learn something every day. Even as a digital skills trainer, I have sat in a Microsoft Word training almost every year. And I know it all. But every year I sit in it, I learn something new. And so it's important for you to understand that you need a very, very, very strong digital literacy skills. There's no option to that if you want to be future-proof. And then the third one is that you need to be able to adapt, to be able to navigate and leverage technology. This is very different from digital skills and adaptability. It means that if technology changes tomorrow, can you still navigate it and leverage it? This AI we're talking about, you know why people get to know when your CV is done with AI? Because you're not leveraging it. Some people will do it and you will not know. And so that leverage, and I'm not speaking particularly to you, I'm just saying in general that some people will still use that thing and not know that they use AI, but they have used AI. And so there's a level of leverage you'll be able to leverage that it will not even be obvious to anybody that you have used an AI CV. And I'll get to the AI CV question because I do see a lot of that. And then how resilient are you? It's going to change. The environment is going to change. What makes you future-proof is not the skills you know now. It's not just the skills you know now. It's the skills you know now and your adaptability to the changing environment tomorrow. If it becomes that tomorrow we're using robots, are you going to be able to change? Are you going to give up and say, you know what, I'm just going to stay in my village in Osho State? You know, things like that. That is what makes somebody future-proof to me. Your ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Your ability to changing and rapidly changing. It is going to change. This AI thing we're talking about will still change before the end of the year. But how adaptable are you to it? And so you don't get weary with, it has changed again, I've given up. If it changes, how adaptable are you to it? And then your question around AI, using AI tools. I think the biggest challenge for me is that, like you said, everybody sends in the same CV. I'm asking for a virtual assistant, all of them sending the same CV. It's AI built. Now, AI is not supposed to build your CV for you. You're supposed to have built your CV on your experiences and then refine your CV using AI. I don't know if that makes sense. It means that you already have a CV. You already have a good CV, but it is not refined to keywords. It's not refined to measurable. And so even when AI sends you a correction, you know, some of us will just do the lazy work. I'm also included. And you do copy and paste and you just paste it like that and send in the application. Don't do that. When it sends you that, like for instance, I will put my CV in, if I get a job description that I want to apply for, I will put the job description, I'll put my CV in, and I'll say, point out to me where in my CV I can improve it to meet this job description. Point out to me the roles that are not relevant to this job description. So I'm not asking it to rewrite. I'm asking it to show me my issues. And then I do the rewriting myself. Oh, if my CV is not quantifiable, I'll say, what are the places in which I can make my CV quantifiable? And so it might list it for me and say, there are 7 things in your CV that can be quantifiable. Why not add a number to this? It will now show me the issues. I will now go back and do it myself. So that way I'm doing it in my own words. I'm adding my own personal touch to it. I'm not just copying and pasting AI CV. Because honestly, like you said, I did an open call for virtual assistants. Almost 90% of them sent me an AI generated CV and they were the same. And of course, you know that they won't be hired. So there's no point. As much as we're using AI, let's not take away the human angle of it. And we need you to be able to be seen in that CV when you send it out. It's not about the AI tool alone.
Thank you so very much. Let's go to the virtual. Oh, you were saying something?
Yes, I know he asked one more question on international mindset.
All right, please shoot.
I tried to explain it earlier. It was about how, you know, how we're just all thinking, oh, you know, I'm just applying in Nigeria here. Some people are applying from China for that your Nigerian job. You are no longer applying in Nigeria here. And so if you think about it in terms of, I'm not just competing with my friend in school, in Osho State, with Abuja with me. I'm thinking about, I'm competing with the entire world for that job. And so how do I stand out? What do they want? You are thinking differently about it. An international mindset is just recognizing that it's no longer just about Nigeria, Abuja. It has the box has been wide open. It has been boxed wide open. And so it is your responsibility to recognize that it's not just you. When I put out applications now, it's not just Nigerians that apply. I'm getting people from all over the world. When I apply for things, I'm not competing on the local level anymore. You're competing internationally. And you know, and that's why I really love the education USA is doing, and you know, all the remarkable people doing this work, because they recognize that there's such a gap in our mindset that we need to shift in terms of, I'm no longer, it's not the person sitting next to you. That person is the smallest room that you will ever be in, you know, and the biggest room is this entire globe. And so just thinking about in terms of how is the globe thinking about this? Can I afford to just have basic skills? You can't. Can I afford to just network with a Nigerian in my little corner? And you can't. You have to network with the whole world and find people that are doing what you do. The easiest thing, in fact, if you want to be a web designer, go and look online. Who are the top web designers in that field? And look at their portfolio. Look at their CV portfolio. If they are on any one of these other whatever, Google them. Like ask ChatGPT, ask them Google, and look at how they are packaging themselves. That will give you an idea of what it takes globally. Don't ever limit yourself to that person that's doing competition in your classroom. They're not enough. There's a bigger scale where there are professionals that, and I want to see more professionals at the top in that space worldwide. When they're calling, you can't call any profession when you can't call in Nigerian. Now that's when you start thinking internationally.
Thank you very much. To echo what she said, leave that your comfort zone. Explore. Thank you so very much. There is a question, Yema. Please, what is your name on LinkedIn? I don't know if the name you put there on the flyer, but I already written it. Should I just send it? Ejiroghene John. Is that all right?
Yes, I think that's her name.
And Damilola Anwo-Ade, the compound word.
Yes, it's the compound word. Yes.
So I'm sending it to the chat box. So we're leaving the virtual world now. Let's go to the physical world. Maiduguri asked the question, how can I build my CV? I believe that was why they raised their hand. Well, how can I build my CV to have a good grade in applying a job for a job? Did you get that, ma'am?
As well as asking fantastic questions. So please, like, I'm really, really, really excited. It shows that there was a lot. I got it. I got it. I think the questions that are coming in are very fantastic, and it shows that a lot of people were really listening. So these are the criteria in which most of these applications use to rate your CV. One of them is that you use keywords to the job you're applying for. So if the job description says a lot around, you have to be a web developer. Yeah. What I do is when I see the job description, I put it in ChatGPT and say, bring out all the keywords in this job description. And so I'm able to see what are the keywords that are in that job description I expect to be on my CV. So if you say you're applying for a graphic designer role, then what are the keywords that you should have as a graphic designer on your CV? You should have that you can do either Figma or Canva or Photoshop. You understand there's some keywords of people in the industry that they expect you to have. That's one. The second one is that you should have a clear role you're applying for. You cannot have any of those random CVs that don't have any job you're applying for. If you're a marketing assistant, put in marketing assistant. If you're a virtual assistant, it should be a title on your CV. When you don't have it, you lose points. That's one of the things that you get a bad grade. When you don't have it, and then you should have a profile, a strong keyword focused profile. So you should have a short profile, usually 3 or 4 lines. Don't go and write an epistle. You're not writing a book. It's just a short profile that begins to introduce you. Like I said earlier, I like to have my profiles with what I've done, what I'm currently doing, and some of the opportunities I'm looking for. And so if I'm looking for a role as a digital transformation consultant, I will write it down. Looking for roles as a digital transformation consultant, whatever it is you're looking to do, write it there. Sometimes you can even use that to sell yourself to the person you're sending your CV to. That profile is key. And it shouldn't be keyword heavy, but it should be keyword rich. In terms of heavy, you just paste and copy and paste all the keywords there and say, they say keywords is important. Please don't do that. But it should show, when I read it, it should show thoughts. You understand? Not just that I copied and pasted keywords because I want ChatGPT to score me highly. It's beginning to get smarter than that. It knows. So don't do that. The next thing is that you should have how they can reach you. When you don't have it, you get low grades on your CV. How can they reach you? Your phone number, your email address, your address, Abuja, Nigeria, wherever it is you are, it should be there. So that place of how they can reach you should be there. 5, you should have a link to any one of your professional profile and portfolios, like whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's GitHub, whichever one you are using, you should have an external link they can go to find out more about you. Number 6, this is and I talk about this a lot, it should be quantifiable. You see this thing where we say, oh, we worked somewhere and we can't even say how many people we worked with or how many people that worked under us. Or we cannot say, oh, I improved sales by, okay, I made a revenue of $10,000. You can't put anything there, but you did that job. Please, you have to make it quantifiable. In every single job description you've had, make sure that your CV has a quantifiable matrix that people can tag to. If you're a project manager, talk about your lifetime value on projects. You can say, oh, I've worked on projects valued at 2 million naira. Like, let them be able to, what that quantifiable does is that able to scope how much work you have done and how much opportunities you can do, how much you can do. But when you don't put any, oh, I've supervised 3 people, I worked in this place for 4 years. Put numbers to it, put matrix to it. Don't just drop information like those numbers they'll remember. Say, you said you made $1 million in sales as a sales marketer. Oh, good job. How did you do that? Put numbers to it. And don't lie, please, Joe. Don't lie. Then the one that people don't really pay attention to, but I think is the last one. There's a lot more, but I gave you some really strong tips that if you follow it, you can't get less than a 60 on most of these ATS testing. There's the last one I want to talk about, and it's more important than even quantifying things, that see these grammatical errors and formatting errors. You will get Odo if you have too many formatting errors. Don't go and design your CV on Canva. And don't go and feel like you need a professional headshot on your CV. Don't do that. You don't need it. On your CV can be clean. Your professional headshot, leave it for LinkedIn. Your CV can be clean and neat. Don't design a CV on Canva. Just use your basic Microsoft Word and make sure your formatting is clean. You make sure your formatting is clean. You know, sometimes you design a CV and there'll be inside tables, or your text will be inside tables that you cannot see. Please remove it. Make sure it's really clean and neat. Don't put it, you can still format it without tables. That way, when ATS testing is reading it, they're reading it and giving you a high score. When you're formatting it inside tables, most times the formatting is bad. It just looks good, but really the line behind it is bad. And so when you upload the CV, it comes up as being very poor. If you fix some of these things, I promise you, you can't get less than a 60. You'll be moving upwards to a 70, depending on how strongly you fix these things. These are the core foundational issues that you'll get with your CV that will give it a poor score.
Thank you so much again. She said, make a measurable progress. Whatever you are doing, if it's statistics, put it there. How many people have you trained? If you are a trainer, put it there. Let it be, measurable. Let them see it that, oh, she has done this, or she should be able to be good for this job if we gave her this job. So yes, thank you so very much. We have Dutse. Dutse, would you kindly unmute yourself and speak? We don't have so much time, so let's utilize the little time we have.
I'm making noise. The talk is close.
Please go up to.
Maiduguri, kindly mute yourself, please.
Good afternoon. Yes, very sorry. My question is not actually relevant to the topic you are financing on now, but it's very relevant to the program. So I don't know if I can still ask the question.
Yes.
Okay. My question is actually about the work opportunities listed earlier. And one of the work opportunities AI art curator. So I want to know how it works with digital libraries.
Okay, so I may not be able to question the work opportunities with this. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. Your voice was breaking up earlier. Please.
I should ask the question again.
Did you get that, Ms. Damilola?
Yes, so he was asking about work opportunity with digital libraries. I felt like that should come from you or from somebody that works in-house about your program. I think he wants to find out more about the program than about the session.
Well, first of all, I don't know if it's your fourth time. This is the fourth workshop. So there are very many opportunities at the American space and all the American spaces. So as the director, there's so many opportunities. We have American Space Channel, Nigeria, the channel, WhatsApp channel. Join us so that you have updated information. There's so many information about, so many things. So like this session. So I don't know where exactly you want me to point at, but check the channel, ask the director, they will lead you in the right direction.
You should speak with the director there.
Yes. All right, we have Oka. Maiduguri, are you still raising your hand? Yeah, well, Oka, please unmute yourself and speak.
Maiduguri is waiting, please.
Okay, let's see Oka first. We just spoke with you, yeah.
Okay, good evening.
Yes, please.
I would like to know if it is necessary, how can we, be able to separate or demarcate our professional social media life from our personal social media life? When I talk about social media, I mean the one that are shareable, our professional shareable life and personal shareable life while using social media. If it is necessary, how can we do that?
Okay, so I get you. I hear you. I think your challenge is I'm on so many platforms. Which one am I going to be focused on for my professional career? I don't want them seeing everything. But yes, I want to be able to have a life outside of this professional life. But so this is my solution, and this is how I use it. For each platform, I kind of determine which one I want to use professionally. And so that's a personal decision. For some people, they're literally using Instagram and TikTok professionally, and there's no shade, it's allowed. You have a personal about the organizations, it's just for big people. No, even you as a person, what's your digital strategy? How are you using digital? Is it just to post everywhere? Is it just to talk about everything everywhere? No, be intentional about the platforms you want to engage in. And so most times people naturally use LinkedIn professionally because LinkedIn has said we are a professional channel. But that doesn't mean that you only have to use LinkedIn. For some people that are good writers, they said, you know what, I want to have a blog. And so they use blog sites to write and then they use it professionally. What now determines what you're using is what you now share with your professional network. And so if you're using LinkedIn, then your LinkedIn is going to be on your TV because you're sharing it with your professional network. You're sharing it in your professional. Anything you don't want to share with your professional network, don't put it up on CV. Don't put there. Some people still go and Google you. You think you want to use professionally, share it with your professional network, and that's what demarcates it. There's no maths and English and around it. Most of the time, it's you being able to choose what channels you want to use professionally and make sure that those are what you share with your professional network. If you don't want to use it professionally, don't share it. Other people might still do the extra work of going to check on it, but you cannot put that on private. Most of these platforms allow you to private a lot of the things you don't want to share with just everybody, and it's for your private network, right? For your family and friends. But please, anything you want to share with your professional network, then you keep it professional and clean. Anything you don't want to share with them, don't share it on your CV, don't share it in your professional email. Some people also have a habit of using two emails, one professionally for all their correspondence. Some people even create their own websites and use the domain name for their professional network. It's really up to you. But again, you need to determine what your digital strategy is. I cannot determine that for you. And then to determine it, just identify what is the goal. What is your goal for being online? Is it just to make money? People, come up with a goal online and then your strategy around that goal. So if my goal is I want to be able to make so and so amount, that's a clear goal that I'm trying to make money off my online platform, and then I'm working towards it. It will tell me where to be. It will tell me what to say because I have a goal in mind. But don't just wake up and say, "Oh, I'm just going to be online," without any kind of strategy. That's what people that don't know do. People that know and are very intentional about being international mindsets are people that have strategy. And so you are the one that can determine. For me, it's LinkedIn, and I still use my Instagram and TikTok for a lot of more professional things, and my YouTube channel. But for you, it can be something else. It can be your blog, depending on if you're a videographer, it might be even somewhere that you post your videos, YouTube. But it cannot be the same for everybody. It's everybody's choice to determine what their professional platforms will be. But you have a lot of options. You have a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Ejiro chimed in and she said, I usually focus on different social media. LinkedIn for my professional, Facebook for personal, but still intentional. I can also build different pages on media like Facebook, YouTube with different handles. It is hard to manage when you have different handles. So intentionality and strategies. Yeah. Yes, the last bit of today, question for today, we have Maiduguri, kindly unmute yourself and speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please shoot.
The erudite scholars there, thank you for good presentations. Mine is more or less more or less of critics, and we learned about how to tailor our CV. Actually, it is a very good one, and you made mention of the advantage or disadvantage of linking of CV. So I actually worried to know what are the challenges or the merit of the linkages of the CV. Number two, the syllabus in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria, the more of the courses is not incorporated with the AI courses. That is they more give more emphasis in the theoretical aspect, especially in the Nigerian curriculum. And now the technology, the imagine of the technology has changed the narrative or the perceptions of the people, especially from the developed and developing countries in Nigeria. What is your suggestions for future generations because of the computer age? And clearly, number three is elaborate the word international mindset under the forming of standard CV. Thank you.
Oh, see, and the questions are so fantastic. So thank you for engaging me this way. When you engage somebody, then you see my energy come out. So I'm going to start with the one about, the school system and curriculum. How long are we in school for? Primary school, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years, depending. Secondary school, another 6 years. University, maybe another 4 to 5 years. But the truth is that you're not in school up to 40% or 50% of your life. And so the rest of it is on you to actually do a lot more development. The school curriculum and structure as fast as digital is changing things. A lot of the skills I'm using today were not skills I learned in school. They were skills I built while in school, but not from the school system. Every holiday, it was spending time at a computer center, at a whatever it is. I can promise you, spend that time on the internet learning, not doing other learning. Like the school, I can't talk about the school system because I don't expect too much from the school system. I think that people are expecting it to do too much for them. There's a huge space for personal development in this digital age that we have entered into that people need to latch on. There's something I talk about so much, and I shared that a lot last week on my platforms, and it was about the intentionality of people to learn and to focus on personal development. A lot of people are waiting to enter into university to do that. You can't. That's why you have spaces like the American Corners, right? You can't, because they want you to have a space where they know that you can come in and learn on your own. And, ask people around you to point them in the right direction to a lot of the resources that they have, because you cannot expect a school system to do that. It cannot. The age we have entered into is an age where there's a lot of self-taught people. There are a lot of people learning from Coursera, from edX. There are a lot of people learning from YouTube. Most of the skills I learned within the past 2 years, I've learned them online. I haven't entered into a classroom. And so you need to take away that school has been unboxed. Digital has unboxed school. Your school is now YouTube. Your school is now, micro bits of information on Instagram and TikTok. We're learning more from that than we're learning from the school systems. You get, not because the school systems are not important, but because how much can they do? That with you just a little fraction of your entire life. Let's not expect too much for them, but let's change our expectations to a point where we're expecting us to do a lot of self-learning. The second one I want to talk about on LinkedIn, advantages and disadvantages of linking it to your CV. Did I get that question right? Yes, okay. So on LinkedIn, so advantages and disadvantages of LinkedIn. Advantage is that your CV only has 2 pages. And so when you link it, it means that they can see more and they can prove it. You can't prove it on text. Some of you have designs you have done, you have pictures of what you have done, you have videos of what you have done. When you link it there, they can see it. You are proving that you are a valuable employee to have. And do you get? And so that to me is a huge advantage. The disadvantage is what you put in that they will see. And so if you're not putting in information, building your online resume, building your online portfolios, then they don't see anything about you. And so if there's still another responsibility on you, not just to do the work, but to also share that you have done the work, not to lie that you have done the work, but to share you have done the work and allow people to engage with you that way. The another advantage of, this whole LinkedIn thing is that your CV will change depending on, where you're sending it to. Nobody uses the same CV, or do you? Most people usually say, oh, I'm sending it to the US Embassy, this is a different CV. I'm sending it to World Bank, this is a different CV. You are really, trying to adapt it to what they need. And so what LinkedIn does for you is that whatever you write there, LinkedIn is a stable ground where you're not going to go in and change your text of 20 years ago. They will see your consistency over time if you are being consistent. If you're not being consistent, that's also what they'll see, and that can be a disadvantage as well. Ejiro, I don't know if you wanted to talk to that because I can see you looked like you had a lot more contributions to make. I know that you're on the road, but if you do, it's fine as well.
You're doing a great job, Dami. In fact, I'm learning as I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay. So
thank you very much. Are you done with the response?
I think so. I know you had 3 questions. One of them was on the LinkedIn profile.
I think everything is just linked, intertwined. So I think you must have responded to the question. Maiduguri, we don't have much time. We only have 1 minute to go.
Yes.
Has your question been answered?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well. Thank you so very much.
Yes.
Thank you so much to the speakers.
Yes. No. I'm yes,
Please
ma'am.
talk, Maiduguri.
I'm thinking of these days there is a lot of cyber crime.
Okay. If you want to say
hello. I said these
We
days
can
there
hear
is a lot
you.
of cyber crime and among others. So in the process of linking, maybe if you link through Google, maybe you have an account, you have several accounts through linkages. And these days there is a lot of cyber crime among others. So how do we protect your personal information through the linkages process?
You're not
there is a lot of
unmuted
cyber
yourself,
crime.
Ms. Dami. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can. So on protecting yourself, okay, there are lots of tips on protecting yourself, but I'm just going to give you 3. 1, always have a strong password. A lot of times what they're doing is that they're latching onto certain things you're doing, and then they have your password and they're using it, and all of us use the same. Some of us use the same password on multiple accounts. Always have a strong password. That strong password is always important to protecting some of these accounts that you're using, which ultimately protect you. The second one is that I think we should also, as much as we encourage you to post, a place where and you're posting things in real time. Don't do that. There are some things that you don't need to post in real time, right? And so just be mindful of that. And then the last one is that I would like to say is that I think it's important that outside of the strong password, outside of the posting in real time, is that you need to care about people are already going to very compromising sites and then forcing it. And so just be mindful about where you're going to. And I don't want to mention specific names. I'm hoping that you get it from what I've said, but there are very compromising sites that, they're asking you for information and then you're sending in your details. There are some questions nobody should ask you for online. Do you get? There are really some questions that you shouldn't be answering. By the time you start answering questions about your bank account details or some other things, you should know that you're entering into shady territory. And so just be mindful, even if it's a chat, be mindful of who you're. This thing I said earlier when I said do your research. In fact, if you do your research so well, you'll see that there are some platforms where they will share, like on Reddit, they will share when even an email address is a scammer's email address. And they'll say, this one, that we've seen it so often, this person is a scammer, they scam this person. They will literally give you the the download of that person's activities. And so just really be mindful that do your own personal online research. You can do a desktop research to find out what's going on with this. Is this a legitimate organization, etc.? Sometimes it's that laziness to do a research that gets us in trouble. You get? And so just be mindful of that as well.
Mrs. Dami, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Engineer Ejiro. I'll be passing the mic to Ms. Stella now, but before I do that, I want you to know that you can ask your question in the chat box on YouTube channel. They will be responded to. Thank you very much. For the slides, I believe it will be shared by our speakers with your yes. Okay, thank you very much. So, Ms. Stella, please, you have the floor. Let's close the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Karamat. And want to say a very big thank you to the speakers. Please, can we clap for them, please? They did an amazing job, and we really, really appreciate. On behalf of the American Space and all the participants here today, we want to say a very big thank you to Mrs. Damilola and Engineer Ejiro for doing such amazing justice to this wonderful topic. We really appreciate you. Your insight has not only broadened our understanding. In fact, you've given us a lot of assignments to do. I virtually went to my Google and I'm like, oh my God, what is this? So we have a lot of work to do and we really appreciate you. To all the participants, we want to say very big thank you. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the engagement. Let's put all this into practice and the valuable lessons we've learned today. Once again, to Ms. Damilola and Engineer Ejiro, we say very big thank you. May you continue to inspire many more with your wisdom and expertise. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you again for the next workshop next week, Tuesday. That is the 5th one. Tell a friend to tell a friend. A space for you to unlearn, relearn, and learn.